I said, okay, well, crap. Well, I guess I can't. That one's out the window. So I said, let's look at it a different way. What aren't they doing? What aren't they doing that I can do feasibly?
So the question is this: how do most agents find the secrets to succeed in today's competitive real estate market, especially when the top agents are keeping those secrets to themselves? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. Hi, I'm Aaron Amuchastegui, and welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. Real Estate Rockstars recording in progress. This is Aaron Amuchastegui. Today I get to interview Robert Biehn. Robert's from Nashville, Tennessee. I was in Nashville a couple months ago. There's a fundraiser out there. It's near and dear to my heart. There was actually a couple other people that I've interviewed on the Real Estate Rockstars podcast that were there with me.
No way.
Yeah, fun other stories. Robert, how's it going today?
Man, it is awesome. It's a good day for sure.
Very cool. What are those things behind you? Like you've got
they're meant to represent carbon bonds.
Carbon bonds. I'm sure we're going to get into carbon bonds. So how long have you lived in Nashville?
Let's see. I think we're going on 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long ago did you become a real estate agent?
Just shy of 3 years.
All right. So you moved to Nashville 7 years ago. What brought you to Nashville?
Originally, you mean?
Sure.
Yeah. Originally, I wanted to be a rock star. And so I flew out to Nashville to play for a bunch of record labels.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Great. I actually ended up recording some stuff. And then I realized that to play by their game, I would have to lose who I was as a person. And I didn't want to do that.
So I decided not to go. There's all sorts of music coming out in Nashville. There's, I know a buddy of mine has a record label out there. And he runs the Christian group down in Haiti that we go to, the Hands and Feet Foundation. And
that's amazing.
A lot of music out of Nashville for sure. What a crazy place. So you went there for music, and then you stayed for the fun. You stayed for the community, or you just stayed because you?
Not really. To be honest, what happened was then I went back to my life in California. I'm a Christian. I'm really open about it. And so I went back to my life in California, and I looked at my life of complacency, and I felt this calling that God was like, it's not that you're doing anything bad, right? But you're not doing anything that moves anybody's lives, or including your own. You're not doing really anything that progresses. And so the calling that I felt was just to completely erase that life and move away from it so that I could not be complacent. I couldn't be comfortable. I couldn't be around friends who just didn't want to do anything in life. And so that's exactly what I did. I packed up and I drove to Tennessee.
All right. So what brought you to real estate? How did that happen?
So before I was in real estate, I used to do contract negotiations and business development for billion-dollar companies. And I loved that job and it was awesome. I got to do a bunch of PR work and fly to conventions, and I just had a blast. But at one point, I found this. I woke up to this realization that company did not care about me at all. It did not care about any of the employees. It didn't really even do anything when one of them died, like young kid. And I realized that, and again, that calling, right? That reiterating in my head, like, what's your mission? What's your purpose? What's your value in life? And it was like, you didn't learn all these skills and this knowledge to go make rich people rich. You did it because you wanted to make an impact in people's lives. So stop going through the middleman who's going to filter and dilute the value that you bring to the world, and go directly to the place where you can make the highest and biggest impact. So I was like, okay, well, where's that? What does that look like? You know, I'm thinking finance. I'm still thinking like management or corporate or starting your own company type of mindset. And then I looked at real estate and I said, well, wait a second. I've heard of people doing real estate right and therefore changing their generational wealth forever. And I've never heard of anybody in insurance. Oh, I picked the right Geico policy and therefore my family's life was changed forever. I'm not saying it isn't important, but the ability to change the course of their life. You can pick the best car insurance policy ever, but it will not change your grandkids' life. It won't. So I said, well, man, I have this unique set of skills. I know contracts, business, negotiations, money. I know this stuff really at a high level. Imagine I applied that to the average person. What could I do? What impact could I make? And that's where real estate came in.
So you found real estate. Did you join a team when you first started? Join an office? What was your first year like?
Yeah. So I started right away at Keller Williams, and they were super nice and friendly, and definitely enjoyed my time there. And I did join a team. I was trying to get to a builder. I think a little bit outside the box. So I found a builder. I wanted to sell their homes. They said, well, this team has the homes. So I went to that team and said, hey, if I join you, can I go sell those homes? And they said no at first. And then I said, listen, I promise you, I will break every sales record that your team has ever had if you let me sell those homes. I knew what I could do. And so eventually they, I joined the team and they let me sell the homes. And then for that entire builder by myself, I was 1/4 of their entire profit that year.
Well, so you got licensed and you were like, where am I going to go work? You saw a home building subdivision, and that's a big business. When you get that business, it's huge business. And I know several people that's how they start, or that's a big chunk of their business. When I got into real estate, I started as a home builder. And so I knew more about the home building of selling than anything else. So, all right. So you said, hey, I want to do this. They said, no, it's this other team that wants it. You went to that team and said, hey, I really want to do these listings. So that's really interesting. You chose that team specifically because you knew they were going to have a lot of listings. So if you could even get in to do a piece of that or a share of that, then getting business wouldn't be difficult. What was your secret to getting so many sales? Like what sort of, like when it comes to like your personality or things like that? So you're sitting in a sales office, people are coming in, the balloons are out, you've got the blimp up so people know that you're going to be there and they come in. What is your secret to success of setting those records?
Man, I would say, so I'll give you like a couple like phrases and then we can really dive into it. But like one is, I am not afraid to make a fool of myself if I think that there is a potential reward. Most people are. Hey, why didn't you call them? Why didn't you send a message? Why didn't you try that strategy? Why didn't you do that thing? Well, I'm afraid of the risk, the consequence if it doesn't go as planned. Well, here's the thing, man. When you break it down very simply, the consequence is you don't make enough money to provide for yourself or your family. But the reward is you do. So screw any opportunity. I'm not afraid of whether someone's going to judge me. So what I did is I said, okay, all right, crap. Now I got it. I actually got it. Now I got to actually deliver on my word. Okay. So I'm looking at this and I go, okay. I went and looked at all the other salesmen who were selling similar things. And I said, what are they doing? Well, here's the thing. They're all doing the exact same thing. They were they were hoping the clout of the builder would produce enough marketing and traffic to generate sales. Well, they can't control that. I said, I've got to do something I can. First of all, the builder said they wouldn't spend a dime on marketing. And I said, okay, well, crap. Well, I guess I can't. That one's out the window. So I said, let's look at it a different way. What aren't they doing? What aren't they doing that I can do feasibly? And so what I did is I ended up sending 500 messages a week on Facebook and in text messages. I treated these clients as if they were my own clients, and I nurtured them and I built relationship with them. Then I started sending pictures because I said, well, you know what? They still view me as just another salesman. Let me show them a picture of me smiling. I know I've got a good smile. I know it's warm and it's friendly. Okay. Then I started doing videos, and then I just started doing more and more relationship-based items. And next thing you know, people remembered me. People wanted to work with me. The agents loved me. And so, getting to do those things really pushed me over the edge to where, by the end of my first year in real estate, I sold 34 homes or something like that. And there were still ones outside of the builder that I sold. I knew I couldn't depend on just them to build a business.
So you started reaching out to people on Facebook, just saying, hey, it's Robert. How's it going? You started texting people. Hey, it's Robert. How's it going? Were they people that had come into the sales office, or were they people that you like randomly friended because they lived in Nashville? Like how did you target that list of 500? How did you make sure that you were doing 500 a week? Is there technology to help that? Like just go into the actual, a little bit more, because somebody could go do that today.
Yep. Oh man. No, I teach this. Yeah, absolutely. So everybody who got a text was generally someone that had come in. Because, and usually I would try to go add them on Facebook as a friend as well. But typically if they came in and I got their info, they'd be getting the texts, just a way for me to organize it better. If I didn't know them, they were getting a message. It was either an agent or someone who I think might have an interest in buying or selling a home, right? The way I found those people is I would go into Facebook groups. And I would look at the Facebook groups. And again, remember, I look at everything that's already happening and I go, okay, what are they doing that's working? And what aren't they doing that I think could work? So then I go into the Facebook groups. Hey, I'm looking to buy a home. Boom, 500 comments. And I looked at that and I said, well, crap, man, how am I going to compete with these agents? They've got 500 reviews. They've sold 1,200 homes. They're freaking generational in Nashville. So I can't compete with that. And I said, but here's the thing. They're saying the same thing. And so I looked at their comments and their comments were, hey, I'm so-and-so and I'm a local and I would love to help you with your home buying process. Well, you know what the next comment said? Hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm a local and I'd love to, and I'm super passionate. Well, I'm a very literal person. And I go, quantify your passion for me. How does your passion actually help me gain something valuable? The average agent has no idea how to quantify their value, but I could. And you know why I could? Because I turned around and I said, okay, let me create actual material value propositions that I can give these people, to where then when I'm in the room and I'm up against the person who has 500 reviews, I still outrank them in value, in personality, in the fact that I was sending pictures and sending messages and building relationship, and then had actual data to back up the emotional side of it.
Real Estate Rockstars, this is Aaron Amuchastegui for a quick commercial break. So during 2020 and 2021, the real estate market completely changed. There's so much competition in the market, so many people trying to buy and sell houses, but there's hardly any supply, hardly any product, hardly anyone willing to list their homes. It's time for every agent out there to become a hybrid agent investor, to be able to reach out directly to homeowners to try to get them to sell or list their house. We've got a new website. Go to leadpropeller.com and you can set up your own investor buyer website in just minutes. You'll set up your own URL, set up phone numbers, help go through to leads, help reach out to people that aren't listing their property currently, and have them fill out a form that says, hey, I want to sell my house. And then as an agent, you can go through and make them a hybrid offer. You can tell them, hey, I think your house would sell for $220,000 on MLS, but I can either write you a $180,000 cash offer right now, or I can help you fix it up and you'll list it for $220,000 on MLS. These are buyers that are looking for quick cash offers. Tens of thousands are submitting these forms every single day, and they're skipping the listing process. But so many of you guys out there are such good agents. It's a great opportunity to get that lead and help them maximize sales price for their home. So again, go to leadpropeller.com and think about signing up for your own investor site, so buyers will start reaching out to you, asking you to make an offer on their home. So give an example of that. So somebody goes on this site and it's like homes in neighborhoods in Nashville, and they go, hey, I'm trying to buy a house in this neighborhood. And then everybody says, let me be your agent. And there's 200 of them.
Yeah.
What's your next step? Do you message them? What's that thing of value? Like,
here's the exact process. Okay. So I go in first for the comment, make sure you read the post and actually digest it, right? Take it in. It's not, oh man, I'm going to quickly brag about myself or just say, oh, I'd love to help, which seriously, I challenge anybody listening, go look at what the average agent will post, and immediately it's either a brag about themselves, it's irrelevant data, hey, I'm a local, or it's like, I'd love to help. None of those things translate to value. None of them. And the client doesn't understand that, because again, imagine you go to Walmart. Hey, we've got cool stuff. I hope you buy something. It's like, no, I'm here for something specific. I need that product. Where's that product? Okay. It's aisle 5, right? Like, that's why we have this. So the comment goes, something along the lines, you variation, but it's roughly along the lines of, hey, you tag their name. You have to tag their name. If you don't tag their name in the comment, then when they get the 100 notifications, it just goes, someone left a comment. But if you tag their name, they click the notification, goes down, it will actually bring them to your comment. Your comment's useless if they don't see it. So literally that's step one. Hey, tag their name. And then it's nothing about me. It's nothing about me. I don't talk about me, my experience. I don't tell them I'm a realtor because guess what? They're already assuming that if I'm commenting, I'm a realtor. So can you tell I'm very passionate about this?
Yeah.
So then I go, I just sent you, I know you've got a ton of comments already. So that's called addressing the negative. I know you've got a ton of comments already. I'm disarming them. I'm telling them I have empathy. I know you've got a ton of comments already, but I have sent you a message that will help make your decision and your process a ton easier, a whole lot easier. Or I have sent you a message that is, I guarantee you, is unlike any message you have received before. And then if there's some detail about them in the post, like that was specific to them, I'd also insert that at the end. Plus, it'll help with the question you had about that school. And so what that did is it turns around and immediately differentiates me from everybody. It creates a curiosity factor. Wow, this guy said he has something that nobody else has. Even if they already decided to use another agent, they're probably still going to go read the message because curiosity, man. Like this dude's pretty confident. He said he just gave me something nobody else did.
Yeah.
Then by that time, I've already sent them a message and added them as a friend. That way they have, once they see the comment, they already have the immediate next step. They're not waiting for the message. They can immediately go to it because if you miss that, I sent you a message, great. And they go to click to see the message and it's not there, you're gone. They're not going to come back to your comment and say, I wonder if he ever sent me that message.
Yeah.
Right.
Message first, then you're commenting saying, go to the message.
Yep. So it's all past tense. I've already made it happen. And then we get into the message and the message is insane, dude. It's a giant block of text, which normally doesn't work. And to be honest, I'm still trying to understand why it works. I've got some theories of why it works, but it's a big, giant block of text. I basically do an expanded version of the comment. Hey, first name. I know you've gotten tons of messages, okay, addressing the negative, but I'm excited to share with you this one that is unlike any message you've ever had before. So again, there's a reward. There's something in it for them. I briefly say how great a lot of the other agents are that they had commented and sent them messages. Nobody likes to be talked down to. They might be their friend that I just insulted. If I told them I'm the best agent, the other agents suck. That might be their mom, their friend, right? It might be someone who they just connected with immediately and just really liked them. And then I just told them, oh, that person sucks. No. There are some great agents there. But again, and I reemphasize it, I'm about to share with you something that I think will blow your mind, right? I'm about to share you. And then I actually bullet point list what I give. Examples, the first bullet point is always the same. I will give you everything that you expect of a realtor. Boom, box checked. Move on. But the problem is the average realtor, that is their whole value proposition. I'm a realtor.
Yeah.
Bro, that ain't a value proposition if everybody else has it.
Right. You're like, I will be an agent. I will do all the agents. All right. So you're like, hey, I'll do everything that every agent is expected to do.
That's exactly what I say. Everything you expect from a realtor, you can count on that. I will do. Then I give them a couple case examples to see if any of them connect with them, down payment assistance, things like that. Just a couple things that I know are common things that they're thinking in their head. Because here's the thing. You need to check that box. That's how the human psychology works. They can't move on until certain boxes are checked. Otherwise, they won't process and really comprehend what you're trying to offer them. So now I'm told them, hey, what you expect, you're right in expecting it. I've got you covered. Great. Box check, they can move on. Now I can actually move into the unique value propositions I offer. Now I can turn around and say, hey, I have a moving package for you. Hey, I have a perfect mortgage guarantee. Ooh, doesn't that sound intriguing? And I start listing off these items that I know for a fact nobody else has. How do I know? Because I made them. I made my own unique value propositions so that I could leverage them and stand out. And then we go through, there's sometimes depending on, the post and what they need, it might be 8, 9. I think the most I've ever done is 10. Then I end it usually with a very bold question. If you don't mind me being so bold, has anybody else offered you all of this at no extra cost to you? I want them to really think about what they just read. Then after that, I followed up with a video, super short video. Hey, it's Robert from R&R Home Team. Listen, I just wanted you to see that I'm a real person. This is me, and I meant everything I sent you above, and I am so excited for us to connect again. Right? I knew right away, man, I just keep differentiating, keep building personality, because I know probably not a single one of those 500 agents sent a video.
Right. You're like, I am not a bot. Right.
I'm not a bot.
I wasn't somebody that was hired to copy and paste and attack everybody. Like, it's a personalized video is huge. I mean, there's huge. It's huge because there's so many companies out there that are for that. Right. There's so many companies that's all it is for. Like, where you can, I have a couple software companies too, where people sign up and they subscribe and looked into the processes of how can we quickly get a personalized video from me to them. And there are so many options of places that can do it, but none of them are quite as good as just me recording a video and sending it to them as a message. And
people overthink it too. Oh, my hair, my makeup, my location, dude, just like quick selfie. That makes it even better because it really is raw and real. I don't do it from where I'm sitting at the computer. This is too staged. This is too perfect. This is too formal.
So if somebody is a new agent and they have no money for marketing, no money for budget, but they have all the time in the world, they can do exactly what you just talked about.
That's how I built my empire.
And
I didn't have money.
Starting one person at a time. Right. If you didn't have any money for any budgeting as people were coming in.
My wife's sitting over there. We were in debt, right? Yeah. Because we didn't want to spend all the cash we had. So we put a bunch of stuff on credit cards. We honestly put our debt pretty high. And that way we had cash if for some reason we needed it, the little that we had. And then there was no plan B, man. There was no plan B. I had to do this.
What do you think if somebody's like a new agent and they're like, hey, here's something, or what's something you wish you would have known when you first started that you know now? So, I mean, you came in, you had a lot of success, worked, you had some stuff you were able to apply, but what's something that you maybe more recently learned? And said, hey, man, I wish I would have known that. Like, I had a great first year, but if I'd have known this, I would have had an even better one.
Dude, first of all, time blocking and time management. Nobody teaches that at any brokerage anywhere. The few people who generally teach you on the internet are just trying to sell you on something. And it's not actually getting into like how to truly time block. And it's like crazy important. That's why I literally have on like my personal real estate team, I have a coach that is coaching and time management, because that is how imperative it is. Everything is built around the finite amount of time you have. It is the core of your literal existence. Yeah. And if you don't know how to manage it, so time management, seriously, what do I do? How do I wake up, look at the day, have 100 things that I could be doing today? How do I put that into a calendar? How do I quantify that? What do I do if I misuse my time? How do I make up for time lost? Like truly understand time management. That's one of the biggest ones and more recent ones that I've been just continually improving. For sure. The second is all the wasted time on useless information.
Yeah.
Every brokerage says plug into all of our training and they tell you spend 10 hours a week. And I'm looking over here and I did that and I didn't learn a single thing about how to actually make money. And that's what I need to pay my bills. I learned how to do a great buyer presentation, but I didn't learn how to get the buyer. I didn't learn how to convert the buyer when they were hesitant, or their Uncle Sally, Uncle Sam, turned around and is their agent and has a great relationship. Like, you give them a script, but again, a script is only as good as the person who can comprehend and deliver it. Well, what new agent is a perfect orator?
Yeah.
Right. And the third thing I would say is community. You have to be around people who believe that you can do better, will hold you accountable, but at the same time, provide you opportunity to do better, resources, training, coaching. And that's a continual lesson for me. I'm always reevaluating who's around me, right? I'm always, and now when I see someone who has value that I respect and admire, I don't just go, oh, that person's cool. I make an intent to try and be a part of their life. because that's how valuable those people are.
Hey, real estate rock stars. This is Aaron Abuchastegui, and I'm interrupting myself to bring you this commercial break from one of our sponsors. And I know you guys would much rather listen to the content and not the ads and not the sponsors, but this is one that I'm actually super, super excited with. You know, so many of the realtors that we interview on the show, they talk about how much systems are important and how much follow-up is important. And I'm really, really excited about our new sponsor. There's somebody I've been looking at for a long time. And when they reached out to me, I said, yes, we have to be able to do this deal. So that sponsor is Follow Up Boss. You know, on an interview last week with agent Mark McGuire, I asked him what his favorite software and what his favorite system was. And he said it was Follow Up Boss. And then he went on for another 3 or 4 minutes to talk about why Follow Up Boss was the best CRM he uses. So there's a lot of superstars out there that use Follow Up Boss. Some of the stats they gave me: Robert Slack, 1.5 billion team in Florida, number 1 in the US. He uses Follow Up Boss to get a 400% ROI on its massive paid lead spend. Deborah Beagle, co-owner of the Ashton Group in Nashville, uses Follow Up Boss to guarantee that agents who join her team get 2 homes under contract in the first 90 days. That's a big guarantee for new agents. Barry Jenkins of Your Friends in Real Estate uses Follow Up Boss to automate everything so his team can produce $200 million on 25-hour work weeks. All right, so here's an offer. You guys are going to get this special for being Real Estate Rockstars listeners. Now, I've used Follow Up Boss. We've actually used it in our non-real estate businesses as well because it's so good at being able to set timers, set automatic texting and emailing, and what do you know? Best name ever, Follow Up. So here's what we got. For Real Estate Rockstars listeners, you get a 30-day free trial. That's normally 14 days. So in order to get this, you go followupboss.com/rockstars. So again, followupboss.com, just like it sounds, /rockstars. Go there, get your 30-day free trial and check it out. Especially if you aren't using any systems or any CRMs yet, this will be a great one for you to start with. All right, everybody, thanks again. Now back to our show. Yeah. Well, I love those. I love your Facebook methods, and I love kind of those tips on how people jump in. So what's the average sales price where you live right now?
So in specifically Murfreesboro, fun, say that 10 times fast, right? In specifically Murfreesboro, we're hitting it right about 357.
Okay. So 357. And how many deals are you going to do in 2022?
Well, we just launched our Mega Team Challenge. We're attempting to build a mega team from scratch in 1 year. The average mega team takes 5 to 10 years. And you know what's fun is we live stream it. We live stream twice a week, Monday and Friday, 7 a.m. Central. And we show the nitty gritty of what it is to build a team. It is not pretty. It's a lot of work, but the goal is to teach people. So we have a goal of 175 transactions from scratch, including new agents on the team. So that's our target for this year.
So you do 175, and how many people? So you're just started building this mega team. How many people are on your team now, and how many people are you going to have on the team by the end of the year?
We have 10 people on the team from scratch in the last 4 weeks. And I wouldn't be surprised if we had 30 by the end of the year.
Cool.
Yeah.
What's your biggest, and I know people can go watch your live and see those steps, but what's one tip you have for somebody if they're thinking about building a team?
Ooh, that's a good one. Humility. Yeah. I think a lot of people start teams out of pride. I think they want to be the boss. They look at other agents as their retirement strategy. And they don't look at it from a humble status of how can I serve? So be humble and come from a place of value. And I know it sounds like that's not a great tip, but honestly, if you start it off with pride, it will fall apart. It will never satisfy you. You'll never be happy, no matter how big it grows. And then a more material thing is going back to the community. Find someone that you admire what they've done and their process, and make sure that they're there and a part of your life to be able to help you, because it'll save you time, it'll save you money, and it'll save you burn bridges with relationships. I wish I had done that the first time around, but when I talked to one of my brokers in the past about the team stuff and the coach and stuff, he said, no, just go buy more leads. And I believed that was the right approach. That was completely wrong. Honestly, that's not good advice. Anybody listen, that's not good advice. And but I didn't know. He was supposed to be the expert, not me. And that was horrible advice. And then when you get up with the top 1%, you start to find out none of them talk about leads for the most part. It is always about relationships. It is always, are we doing better to build connections with the agents? And so like, honestly, that's like, make that your focus. Like go find these people that will help you grow and go find people who want you to help them grow. And that'll go a lot farther than whether you provide leads or not, whether you provide a TC or not. Those things are replaceable and easy to replicate.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was helpful.
Everybody can provide a TC. That's right. So before we hit record, you were talking about you've got this free coaching platform, and where you get on Zoom, a few hundred people join you on there. And it's kind of this idea of a 90-day jumpstart for agents. So why is a 90-day jumpstart important? What's your vision with that? And how can people find you over there?
So, and it's probably me. Those are actually two separate things. So we have every Tuesday, we have a weekly call for double your income coaching. It's entirely free. There is no pitches, no sales. Doesn't matter what brokerage. We literally have whole brokerages that send their whole brokerage over to us because they know that we honor that and we're just here to contribute. Every week we do a different topic and we teach high level strategies from people who are extremely successful, and we don't hold back because we're not trying to sell. We're not like, okay, to learn how we actually made the money, join us in our $10,000 coaching program. No, we don't do that. We show you the step-by-step of how we succeeded. Like even for me, I show you the exact copy that I use for comments, the exact message, word by word, line by line. Like, so you could literally take what you learned in that and apply it right away. It wasn't like, now wait for the next. So that's a huge one. Double your income coaching. Yeah, we average 200 to 300 agents per call every single Tuesday. I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. That sounds right. Happy to connect. It's free. Like I said, we don't spam you either. We just give you reminders of how to get in on the link and connect. So that's that.
Is that the doubleyourincomecoaching.com? Is that
correct? I actually have never used the website. We're redoing it right now. So someone tried to use it the other day and it wasn't really loading. And then it's because
how do they find you? How do they go?
Well, the easiest way is if they just add me on Facebook or send me a message. I love Facebook, man. It's just a wonderful tool and way to connect with people. So I talk to hundreds and hundreds of agents through Facebook. So seriously, guys, if you're listening, send me a message. I'll get you plugged in. It is invite only. There is no place to go and automatically sign up. Now we're working on making it easier. It's not through Zoom. So each person's link is generated specific to them. So we have to have them in the system because then it generates reminders for them and everything like that. So just come to me. I'll get you hooked up. It's super easy and straightforward. But then to your other thing, the 90-day new agent success plan. So what we found, and credit to all the people before me just teaching and sharing their wisdom. But what we found is that most of the way that people are trained in any industry is really poorly. And it's very much drinking out of a fire hose and then and asking them then why they're drowning. So, when someone's thirsty, you don't turn on the fire hose and say, here, have a drink. You go get them a glass of water and you say, here you go. And then you don't even worry about how fast they drink it. You just make sure they're drinking it. You just make sure that they got what they need, taking a sip, they're drinking the water, right? Would you agree? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, totally straightforward.
I know it sounds silly, but like truly, we have to agree on that basic principle for any of this to make sense. So then what happens though is that the approach to training is the exact opposite. The approach to training is, hey, you join this company, you join this team, you join this brokerage. Great. We're going to cram everything into a single day or a week or even 2 weeks. And then we're going to tell you, now go be an extremely successful agent because we gave you everything you need to know. Well, here's the thing. Just like water, you can drink 10 gallons at a time, man, but your body cannot absorb all that. It can't use all that. It has to be consistent and over time for it to mean anything. So what we found is that there is this 90-day sweet spot when it comes to onboarding/training. Give people small, actionable steps that they can apply simply each day. And over time, the micro will produce macro results. And at the end of that 90 days, that agent will know exactly whether they belong there and it's a good fit and they're ready to go and this aligns with them, or if it doesn't, and vice versa for anybody who's running that. So we run this when we're launching it. It's going to be beta coming in February. We're launching this to test it out. I'm pretty excited, man. I'm not gonna lie. We told you Stephanie Heiser, an amazing agent in person, is involved. Walter Key, shout out to you, brother. He's an amazing person, just a giver. And a couple other people that are involved to build this out. So yeah, and seriously, simple bite-sized pieces each day. Go take a bite, go chew on it, come back tomorrow for some more.
Yeah, so much fun stuff, man. Well, so as we're wrapping up on time, is there anything that you wanted to make sure we talked about today? Anything that agents should know about how you're running your business? What can help them succeed? Anything at all? Any final thing?
Right? It's always like, what a loaded question. Let me give you my 100 freaking bullet list of all the things. No.
Yeah, sometimes it's a 30-second answer, and sometimes like in 6 minutes, we're like, all right, now we're out of time. So
yeah, I can keep it pretty brief. So one is I really do encourage people to look at the people that are around them. There's a lot of people who make emotional decisions. Oh, I love this person and therefore I'm there. I love this team. I love this brokerage. I love this coach. But that doesn't help your business if it doesn't produce results or if you don't have a unified vision. You need to know your vision, and then you need to have people around you who believe similar beliefs. If you don't, there will always be friction and tension, no matter how much you like them, no matter how much you get along. It's a very simple, basic principle. Everywhere else in the world, it makes complete sense, right? Like it does. The second thing is, please plug into what's available in your life. There's good people out there who are willing to teach for free. That's why we have Double Your Income Coaching, with the goal of being the largest free real estate coaching company in the world. And plug into those people, absorb and take it in. And then third is, don't be complacent. The world will continue to move forward. We started Meta Agent, which is a whole different conversation for another time. That's focused around what's happening in the crypto, NFT, self-repaying mortgages. The world's changing, and you need to be aware it's happening, because your clients, they're going to be trusting you to be innovative, to be ahead. You're their leader, so be a leader. Those weren't super great or super helpful, but I hope they bring some value to anybody listening.
I love the idea of being a leader, right? People are counting on us as anything, right? So if we're sick, we talk to our doctor. And real estate agents, the role of a real estate agent, the role of a realtor has expanded to like pseudo finance manager, pseudo predicting things. Sometimes it's a house manager. Sometimes there's a lot of different things. And especially it's been a very interesting 2 months in the stock market. It's been a really interesting week in the stock market, where I have a bunch of people reaching out to me saying like, hey, we're selling our commercial spaces, or hey, we're canceling. There's different stuff that's like, as it's happening. And even like, so when COVID hit, everybody calls and says, hey, what does this mean when the crashes? People will reach out to us as the agents, to anybody as the agent, and say, hey, what I read this news article. How is it going to impact me? What does this mean? And they're looking to you to be a leader and an expert. And yes, and when they're saying, what's next? Like, what is this whole buy virtual land thing? I think that's pretty cool. You guys are trying to expand some stuff into that too. So Robert, this has been a lot of fun. You said the best way is for people to come find you. They'll find you on Facebook, Robert Biehn, Biehn. Yeah. In Murfreesboro, Tennessee, near Nashville. Is it spelled Murfr again? Is that? Yeah. As I'm trying to read that thing.
I know I think it's Murfreesboro, but I don't really know anybody who says it like that.
Yeah. That's the same as Louisville. I've interviewed a few guys from, Jordan's probably listening right now. My buddy Jordan from Louisville. He corrects me often on how to say it right, and I practice. I think I'm getting closer. You guys will let me know if I'm not. But Robert, this has been a lot of fun. Real Estate Rockstars. As always, we love being able to provide value, to give you some tips on what's going on. Robert mentioned Stephanie Heiser. She is out in Austin today, working on finalizing our event space. So our Real Estate Rockstars Mastermind coming the first week of March, you guys will start to get some details sent out via email. If you're not following me on Instagram or you're not on our email list, you've got to go do those two things so you can hear about that upcoming conference. Just to join our email list, you go to hibandigital.com, HIBAN digital.com. You say toolbox. You click that button that says get the toolbox link. That's where you get all the free stuff that all the agents that come on and get interviewed put on there. They'll put their lists of all sorts of different stuff, of ways to. One of the things that Robert's putting in there is how to get 2 more closings a month with Facebook groups for free. And part of the package, just resources and things like that. So Robert, this has been a bunch of fun, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your time, and I love what you do. And thank you for putting this out there in the world.
Cool. Thanks for coming on, and Real Estate Rockstars. Thanks for listening. All right, Real Estate Rockstars. This is Aaron Muchastegui jumping in again to thank you for listening to the show. Hopefully you guys loved listening to that one. And I want to make sure that you know about all of the extra resources that we have. And also, we need your help. They say podcasts are free. You get to listen to podcasts for free. But what is the cost of that podcast? I would say if I could beg you to pay anything for that podcast, I would say the cost of the podcast is going and giving a review. So whether you download it on Google or Apple or YouTube or anywhere else, please go give us a review. Say what you liked, what you didn't like. It helps us get better guests. The more reviews, the higher we get in the rankings. Right now, we are the biggest podcast out there for real estate agents, and we want to keep that spot because we know there's lots of podcasts out there. So go give us a review. Also, be sure to go to hibandigital.com. If you liked any of the resources that those real estate agents talked about, we've got a huge video vault of those resources for free. Every penny that comes on the podcast that we interview, they give us something that helps them get their deals or helps them work with their clients. And we put that in the toolbox in our vault for you. So go to hibandigital.com and you can get it. If you're looking for real estate education, go to rebusuniversity.com. We have all sorts of courses in there to help agents succeed in real estate. How to get the listing, how to negotiate deals, how to become an investor, all sorts of different stuff, rebusuniversity.com. And if you want to chat with me, go find me on Instagram. And if you come find me on Instagram, you can send me messages. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. We try to put a bunch of content out there too. You can find me in 2 different places. It's at rerockstars.com for our Real Estate Rockstars page, or at aaronmuchastegui.com for my personal Instagram page, where I can chat with you about all sorts of different things. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again soon.